This is Matrix Lord 212 and talking about Star Wars Episode 7 at the moment. Comicbookmovie.com again has some great information about an interview with Mark Hamill. Excuse me, oh my god, I'm still sick too. And anyway, they basically said that they talked to him and he says that he has some questions of his own. They're not even at the stage yet where they could give him any information about what really is going on. He would love to do it with Carrie Fisher, but he doesn't even, I don't think the story's even done. That's what he said. He's not even sure, but he said that when the time comes, Lucasfilm and Disney will make the announcement if Luke and Leia and Han will return. He would do it. I think he would do it. Carrie Fisher, Harrison Ford, they were all would be on board. Everybody, really. So it's just a matter of what the script's actually going to be. There's been some rumors that for some reason, somehow, some way, they were going to have Darth Vader as the main antagonist of the next 3 movies. That is not definite because he did become Ash. So I don't know how you would explain that. But if you bring Darth Vader back, I'm almost sure then the door opens to the possibilities of Yoda returning, Ben Kenobi returning, and just about the Emperor returning too. So, I mean, if Darth Vader can return from Ash, then the Emperor could, return for some broken bones or something being like thrown off the ledge there. So, I don't know what it's about. Now, another thing you got to keep in mind too is I keep saying this over and over and over again. People got to realize that this is George Lucas's baby. He is not going to go, I don't think, with a story that was not written by him for the movies. And all the history that's in the books of after episode 6, Return of the Jedi, is not necessarily going to count. So with people saying, oh, Han and Leia had twins, oh, Chewbacca died, oh, Darth Vader was cloned, Luke was cloned, none of that stuff may be part of the real Star Wars universe. It may be a separate universe. So no one can honestly say that any of that stuff is going to appear in the movie. You can't say that Heir to the Empire, Dark Force Rising, and The Last Command by Timothy Zahn is going to be made into the movie because George Lucas basically said it himself that he is writing. He's having his hand in writing the script with the writer that they chose. I mean, he is a big influence still. He's the big guy. So they're not going to, don't look at the history that you've read because that may not be the actual Star Wars history, and don't get annoyed too that's being thrown out because it's not really thrown out. I mean, in the books it lives on its own universe, but this happened. I've seen this happen as a Star Trek fan. Also, this has happened where there's been plenty of books that came out, and then when the movies hit for the next generation, none of that stuff was just ever happened. So it's just think of it as 2 separate things, really. And don't get annoyed that, oh my God, this didn't really happen. As a writer myself, a published author, if I ever did anything where I allowed anybody to write about my characters and I decided to do movies, I would not probably take anybody's stuff other than my own for the movies. And that's just because they're my characters. So I don't think I would let anybody even write about my characters, to tell you the truth. But if I did, I probably wouldn't use any of that stuff for the movie because it is still mine, my character. So I'm not trying to say I know what George Lucas is doing, but I don't think he's going to be using anything from the books that he didn't write. That being said, it's up in the air even if Han and Leia had kids or if Luke had kids. I mean, you can't say definitively that the Star Wars books after Jedi are set in stone, that they're part of like Star Wars Bible, that it's going to happen because anything can happen. George Lucas is writing 7, 8, 9. He has his hand in writing it. I think they do have a script writer, but he has a hand in giving them the synopsis or whatever that he wants, and they write their own thing. But ultimately, the treatment is by Lucas. So just keep that in mind before everybody flies off the handle and saying, oh my God, Mara Jade is going to be in it and all these different things. Just know that the story is Lucas and it's going to be different. Okay, so other than that, that is it. I, for one, love Darth Vader. I don't know how in the world you would bring Darth Vader back because, Luke basically burned him to ash, and I don't understand how that would happen. I know that in the books they clone Darth Vader, they clone Luke, but I don't want to see that either. And basically, I know that Yoda died by just giving himself up to the Force, just like Ben Kenobi before Ben Kenobi was um, like hit with the lightsaber by Darth Vader. So if that means that they could return at any moment because the Force gives them back to life, brings them back to life, I don't know. I don't know anything to do with the afterlife of the Force and stuff like that. Only George Lucas knows. I do know that Qui-Gon was able to speak to Yoda, and Yoda trained Ben Kenobi to talk to Qui-Gon. I don't know what happens after that fact. I believe that the reason they burned Darth Vader is that there would be no way that he could be cloned or returned. But then again, if he does return, I don't know how that's going to happen either. That being said, 7, 8, 9, I would think has to do with Luke probably rebuilding the Jedi, basically being a Jedi Master, training everyone. As far as the Sith going away completely, well, if Qui-Gon can communicate with Yoda, I'm sure that the Emperor or whoever dead spirits of the Sith are able to use the Force to communicate with someone that they want to tempt, which would intact the Sith legacy. So, and if there is balance with the Force, that means there will be good and evil, not just good. So, that being said, I don't know. I can't say that I have the answers about 7, 8, 9, but there's a lot to think about, basically. I mean, don't forget, too, on Dagobah, you have the cave, where obviously somebody important or evil died there, where when Luke was trained by Master Yoda, there was like this dream image of Darth Vader that he was battling, and it was just a thing where when he chopped Darth Vader's head off, he saw his head. Luke saw his own face inside a Darth Vader mask, which probably, lead to believe that that's his father, and father is to the son as the son is to the father. I don't know. I don't know what massive Sith died on Dagobah. They never revealed it. I don't know if this happened before. The events of Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and Revenge of the Sith, or that Yoda wound up battling somebody and killed him on Dagobah. But obviously, when someone dies that's from the dark side, it leaves some type of complicated, I don't know if it's a space-time event or some type of distortion in the Force where, when it was good for Luke to train in the Dagobah cave. So that's that. Other than that, there was things about when the Emperor died, I think in the books, that the whole area had something with the Force in it. But once again, we can't use anything with the books because that may just be thrown out. So I'm looking forward to episode 7, 8, 9. I'm looking forward to seeing the Sith return. And if Darth Vader does return, that would be pretty damn cool, I think. But other than that, all right, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.